Years ago, I encountered a story of a little girl named Raina, whose family was always talking about their tsuris, their troubles. All the grown-ups in her life kvetched and kvetched about their tsuris, from the state of the world to their aches and pains to the little frustrations of daily life. But little Raina felt like she had her own tsuris, and Raina decided that she didn't want to look at her tsuris or hear them or think about them, so she would shove them down in a big pillowcase, a big sack. Into the sack went the broccoli her mom knew she hated, but still served at dinner and expected her to eat. Into the sack went her father's disappointment in his tone when she misbehaved. Into the sack went her upset when she got a bad grade on her vocabulary quiz. And then one day, Raina looked around her classroom and realized she wasn't the only one schlepping a heavy sack of tsuris. After a while, thinking that perhaps they would want to trade tsuris with someone else or each other, Raina and all her classmates went around the room peeking in each other's bags, only to discover that maybe their own tsuris weren't so bad in the first place. We walk through the year collecting as well, moments of laughter and joy with friends and family, simchas and celebrations, successes and achievements, our feelings of comfort and pride and stability. These all go into our suitcase, so to speak. And along the way, we pick up and carry burdens too. Stress and worry, hurt from harsh words exchanged, guilt over promises broken, even existential dread about the state of our world. The poet Becky Hemsley wrote, "Put down the bag of worries that you are carrying forward with you into this new day, and set down the sack of regrets that you've been dragging along behind you for as long as you can remember. It's all so heavy. And carrying it so far for so long is crushing you. The worries are a future that may not happen, and regrets are a past that is gone. And you are not there. You are here in the present. So put it down. Put it all down." On Rosh Hashanah, we are embarking together on a journey, our journey into the new year of 5786. Rabbi Koppell and I want to invite you to imagine yourself packing your suitcase for this voyage into the year to come. What do you want to bring with you as we begin on the path of a new year together? And what might you wish to leave behind? This is what Rabbi Koppell and I are going to explore together today, and we hope that it sparks thought and conversation for you as well.
This year in particular has been a really, really hard year. The ongoing situation in Israel has cast a huge cloud. I worry about the families who have lost loved ones. I worry about the hostages and their families holding up after almost 2 years of uncertainty. I worry about the soldiers of the IDF and their physical and spiritual well-being. In the U.S. Army, we learned about the negative impact of moral injury, questioning the ethical impact of our actions, an injury that can result in a broken heart that lasts a lifetime. I worry about the people of Israel and their government and the impact on their soul. I worry about world opinion about the Jewish state, and I worry about the new wave of anti-Semitism that has been unleashed. I don't think of myself as a worrier, and yet I worry about my children and grandchildren and the world they are inheriting. It seems like a starkly less kind and caring place than the world I grew up in. We've all seen how disagreements turn into personal attacks and insults. I worry about our collective inability to have civil conversations with each other. I worry about the impact of social media and AI. I worry about my own self-image and the legacy of my life's work. I worry about my health and that of my family and friends. I worry whether I will outlive my resources. We chant Unatana Tokef on these high holy days and list all of the possible negative outcomes the year may bring. Who will die before their time? Who will not be at peace? Who will lose their fortune? In our Musar class, Michael Neer described Yom Kippur as our festival of worry, and it sure feels that way. And what does all this worry accomplish? 100%, absolutely nothing. I think about the great line from Glenn Turner, worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Sometimes worry is appropriate. Worry if you are doing enough to bring about tikkun olam, repair of the world. Worrying if you are taking your own spiritual growth seriously. But in general, worry is not productive, and that's what I'd like to leave behind in the year that is drawing to a close. I will try to let go of worry, translate it into concern, and let that concern motivate me towards action. Unlike worry, concern is healthy and warranted in life. It's good to be concerned about some things because you want to get those things right. That concern heightens your awareness and your attention to detail. Concern leads to careful action, while worry is counterproductive because it just stops us in our tracks. You would certainly want your doctor to be concerned about your medical situation in order that nothing be overlooked. But what good would it do you if your doctor just worried about you? Instead of worrying this year, I'd like to reflect and act on my concerns up to the point that there is nothing else I can do to impact the situation, then let it go. As Rabbi Tarfon wisely taught in Pirkei Avot, it is not your task to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. Knowing we've done all that we can do leads to equanimity, calm, and peace. The Hebrew term is especially beautiful, menuchat hanefesh, restfulness of soul. Wouldn't it be nice to have more restfulness of soul? So worry is the big thing that I'd like to unpack from my bag and leave behind.
The thing that I most wish to leave behind focuses on a phenomenon in the Jewish community. As we enter the year 5786, let us leave behind any apologetics or self-blame for the scourge of anti-Semitism that blames our world, that plagues our world. I do not need to explain to anyone here today what a problem anti-Semitism is. We know that it's insidious and intractable, and it's joined our people on our journey throughout history, sometimes bubbling beneath the surface, and sometimes, as it has lately, rearing its ugly head with alarming flagrancy and ferocity. Yet I've been grown concerned with trains of conversations and concerns I've heard voiced that blame the Jewish people for the hatred that's directed our way, or that place the onus of fighting anti-Semitism solely or primarily on our shoulders, or that call upon us in the Jewish community to change our actions, or even our expressed beliefs out of fear that we might contribute to or cause anti-Semitism through our own words or actions. Simply having a Jewish state in our world does not cause anti-Semitism. It was, in fact, virulent anti-Semitism and violence that brought about the movement of Zionism, the modern movement of Zionism, and it was the anti-Semitic violence preceding and during the Holocaust which finally catalyzed the creation of the modern state, not the other way around. In fact, while the term anti-Semitism was coined in the 19th century, the sad truth is that anti-Israelite and then anti-Jewish hatred has existed for thousands of years. Placing the onus on Jewish people for our own persecution is a long-standing strategy of anti-Semites to deflect responsibility, a strategy so frequently used that it has become socially acceptable. There's a name for this: victim-perpetrator reversal. Jews have not and do not cause anti-Semitism, just like racism is not caused by the existence or pride of people of color, just like homophobia is not caused by the existence or voices of the LGBTQ community. And while we in the Jewish community do have a sad but important role to play in raising awareness of and fighting anti-Semitism, we must be crystal clear. Anti-Semitism is not our fault. We are the victims and not the originators or the perpetrators, and the onus is not on us to change. We could change and move and dance and twist and shrink ourselves until time eternal, and that will not solve or diminish anti-Semitism. We must leave behind blaming ourselves for our own victimization and instead embrace our Judaism, proclaim it loudly, and join with all those good people who are working to combat hate in our world. Given the historical experience of our people, it's understandable that we want to do every single thing in our power to combat anti-Semitism. But altering our beliefs or actions, limiting ourselves, and self-blame are not the answer. It's not our responsibility to change ourselves to accommodate or compensate for the hatred directed our way. Pride in our Judaism, exploration of the gifts and wisdom of our tradition, and joining with our allies in strategically combating anti-Semitism, that is the answer.
So what would I like to bring into the year ahead? These Yamim Noraim, these days of awe, starting with the beginning of Elul, are dedicated to Cheshbon HaNefesh, spiritual accounting. When I think about all the negativity in the world, it's easy to be discouraged and disheartened. Then I come to Temple Chai, and I see rooms full of people who, with all the chaos and busyness in their lives, have set time aside to look within and to do better in the year ahead. And wow, I'm inspired and filled with hope. I'm inspired to believe that change is possible and that there are still good people who haven't given up. What a blessing to be among this Kehillah Kedoshah, this holy community of individuals who are passionately committed to Jewish values of justice and kindness and living lives where we truly see each other as Tselem Elohim, an image of God. What I'd like to bring with me into the year ahead is more of that. More holiness and less judgment. We're so quick to judge each other and ourselves, by the way, and so reluctant to bring patience and kindness into our interactions. The high holidays are the season of repentance, tshuva. Tshuva is translated as repentance, but it also means to return. We return to our best selves. Teshuvah is also an answer. We answer the call to be our best selves. It's important to recognize the ways that we've gone off track and what a gift we give ourselves when we spend time recalculating our sense of direction moving forward. We pray that God will forgive us for our wrongdoing, and the Rabbi suggests that as we forgive others, so will God respond to us. In my own mathematical equation, patience plus kindness equals holiness. In the year ahead, I aspire to worry less and act more, letting go of what I cannot control or what won't matter in 5 years or 5 months or 5 minutes from now, and focusing on where I can make changes. For maybe the last 40 years, I've had a postcard in my office with a quote from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I need to reread that card more often. In the year ahead, I will translate my values into action. More action on a communal level and more action on a personal level. And what I want to take with me is my desire for family togetherness. When I reflect on my most essential values, family is one of them. You hear that, Helena and Leon? And even if it means flying across the country, I want to maximize the time we have with each other. A few weeks ago, I read a quote by Mel Robbins that stopped me in my tracks. The time you have with the people you love is like a melting ice cube. 1 minute it's there, the next it's gone. Good news for American Airlines. I'd like to get over my insecurities and begin to look back on my life with a sense of satisfaction and an appreciation of the positive impact I've been blessed to provide. This year, I will, God willing, celebrate my 70th birthday. When you reach this age, if you are fortunate enough to do so, a life review is in order. And if 70 seems very far away, it's not too soon to think about what would make you proud when you reflect on how you used your gift of time. So as I enter this new year, I want to set down the heavy burden of worry and instead carry forward the lighter, holier gift of concern that leads to action, patience that opens space for kindness, and love that binds us together as family and community. In this holy season, may we find the courage to let go of what we cannot control and the wisdom to act where we can. May we turn to our best selves, and may we discover minuchat hanefesh, true restfulness of soul. And may 5786 be a year of health, of hope, of holiness, and of sweetness for us, for our families, for our people, and for all the world. Shana tova umetuka.
Shana tova. I want to share about 2 different things I want to bring with us into this new year. And here's the first. We joke about 2 Jews and 3 opinions. Practically the oldest joke around, and yet it represents a key principle in Jewish study and learning, which I want to pack in our collective suitcase to bring with us into the year to come. And that is machloket l'shem shemayim, disagreement or debate for the sake of heaven. Phrased differently, machloket l'shem shamayim means constructive disagreement. This is a discussion or a debate in which the goal is to gain understanding and uncover the truth or truths of an issue or situation without trying to win the argument, prove you are right, or gain power. Underpinning machloket l'shem shamayim is an ethos of shared respect, curiosity, humility, and an openness to change one's mind or broaden one's understanding as a result of this mutual endeavor. One of my favorite sayings in the Talmud is Elu ve'elu divrei Elohim Chaim. These and these are the words of the living God. When a debate occurs among sages with entirely opposing views, or that leads to diametrically opposed conclusions, rather than stating the winner of the argument or naming one conclusion which the law follows, at times the Talmud will say, Elu ve'elu divrei Elohim Chaim. These and these are the words of the living God. Somehow, says the Talmud, both of these are true, even when they are disparate and seemingly mutually exclusive options. Oh, how we need more of this thinking in our world. Trapped in the echo chamber of our own algorithms, watching or reading the news only from sources that bolster our already existing opinions, often spending time only with friends or family members with whom we agree, it feels that our muscles of lively and healthy debate have atrophied to practically nothing. What might we gain in understanding and in wisdom, in coexistence and community, if we brought the principle of machloket l'shem shamayim, constructive disagreement that builds mutual understanding, into this new year? And finally, when we consider what we are leaving behind and what we're bringing with us into this year of 5786, we must also name that in the year ahead, our new sacred space will be completed. In late spring or early summer, we are indeed going to leave this physical space and enter into our new home. If you've ever left one home and moved to a new one, whether you built it or bought it or rented it, you know that those times of change are bittersweet. Once the movers come and you walk around the empty rooms you'll be leaving, you feel the pull of longing for times past that occurred within those walls, which are memories now. Thanksgiving meals with dear family, the place on the wall where you made pencil markings to mark how tall your kids were growing, the numerous quiet evenings that passed without mention but were woven into the fabric of life. You feel that nostalgia, while at the same time you enter your new home with excitement, organizing and decorating it just so, planning how you'll welcome family or friends for holidays, where you're going to relax with a cup of tea, the meals you'll make in your new kitchen. This moment is a lot like that, but for our community. Within these walls, we've celebrated our simchas and mourned our losses. Babies named in this sanctuary have become bar-mitzvah and stood under the chuppah. We have made dear friends and had our eyes open to the depth of our tradition. We have fed and housed those in need, reached out to God in prayer, and we've embraced everyone who wished to be part of our community with open-hearted welcome. And while these specific walls themselves cannot be transported to 60th and Bell, all of our cherished memories will indeed come with us. And who we are as a community, our values, our traditions, our relationships, our temple high way of praying and caring and innovating and connecting and learning and supporting, those are not defined by these walls or limited by them. A building is not a community. Our connections are not physically limited. What is precious to us, we will bring with us, carrying it within our hearts. When God commanded the Israelites to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the portable wilderness sanctuary that the Israelites carried with them throughout their wanderings, God said, "Let them make me a sanctuary so that I may dwell among them." Generations of commentators have noted that God did not say that the sanctuary must be built so God can dwell within it, rather so that God could dwell within and among them. God does not simply dwell within these walls any more than God is in every single place. Rather, God dwells within us, within this community, wherever we come together. In our new holy place, we will create new memories and deeply meaningful experiences. There we will laugh and sing, we will pray and learn, we will support each other in times of challenge and lift each other even higher in times of celebration. We will continue to adapt and to change and to grow. We will roll up our sleeves to help those in need and create justice in our world. And we will open our arms and embrace all the people who come to us seeking true connection and community. And that will make it our home. And therefore, God will dwell within. Shana Tova.